Twin flames are waking up all over the world, and there's a reason for this. There's a reason so many of us are consciously awakening to our twin flame connection, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's podcast video. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Why are so many twin flames waking up right now all over the planet? It's said that twin flame connection is incredibly rare, and there is truth to this statement. It's true that historically it's been extremely rare for twin flames to consciously interact with their twin flame counterparts and awaken to the knowing, or really the remembrance of this connection. But on the other hand, twin flame connection, or the twin flame counterparts, actually exist unconsciously everywhere. In fact, every soul has a counterpart. It is inherent in nature, in creation, that everything created contains within it this polarity, which in our physical world, we tend to see as the polarity between masculine and feminine, which is why we see these counterpart traits, the masculine and feminine, showing up not just in humankind, but also in all of creation, in all of nature as well. So all souls contain within them this polarity. At the origin of creation, the kind of 0.00 points of a soul's creation in this universe, it is created in connection with its own polarity. It has a counterpart like everything else in nature. However, with that being said, it is most common through lifetimes after lifetimes that twin flame souls, counterpart souls, will choose to incarnate in separate physical bodies, just as you and your twin are incarnated in this lifetime. However, although they are incarnated at the same time in separate physical bodies on the planets, in the past, twin flames would often live these kind of parallel lives, sometimes weaving in and out of each other's physical experience. They might pass each other on the street. They might glimpse one another once or twice in their lifetime, and it might leave some kind of an impression on them. But overall, they are or will be in these lifetimes, these past lifetimes, largely unaware of one another. And this has to do with a few things. One is because of their level of consciousness as a planet, as a human species. In previous times, our collective level of consciousness was much lower, so it was much more difficult and rare for an individual to raise their level of consciousness to the point of being able to and capable of consciously connecting with their twin flame in the physical, recognizing them, and going through the profound spiritual transformative process that follows in a single physical lifetime. This would require a lot of radical and really unlikely amounts of spiritual growth and development in a single lifetime. However, at this point on the planet, our level of collective consciousness has risen to the point where it is easier for us as humankind to access these higher spiritual truths, to raise our frequency more easily to the level of being capable of recognizing our twin flame counterparts and having more conscious interactions with them in this lifetime. Now, when we say that we are twin flames, or we identify with the idea of being a twin flame, what we're really saying is that we are someone who volunteered to come to this planet at this time in this physical body and to consciously experience our counterpart soul with a greater level of awareness than the vast majority of humankind. So everyone technically has a twin flame, but that doesn't mean that everyone is going to awaken in this lifetime to consciously experience a twin flame path. So when we use the number 144,000, that comes from the Bible, and we talk about being chosen, being part of this 144,000 souls who come here to raise the vibration of the planets. I've done a separate video on this 144,000, but essentially it's not a number that necessarily applies exclusively to twin flames. We come here as souls in these kinds of different schools of training or natural ability that we accumulate through lifetimes. We tend to stick together, by the way, and incarnate with some of the same souls from our soul group, soul family, or soul school, however you want to think about it, which is why so many of us from the same soul family have actually connected here through YouTube as well. But anyway, so through this school of twin flames, this kind of soul group, we choose to use the vehicle of twin flame connection and unconditional love frequency that is learned through that connection to assist in raising the vibration of the planets. But there are many other schools of souls that specialize in different areas and different kinds of ways of raising this planet's frequency. So twin flame connection isn't the only way to raise the frequency of the planet. It's just what we chose specifically as a dominant part of our path here. And the reason we chose this is because twin flame connection is the fastest way for a human in a physical lifetime to experience unconditional love connection. And it makes sense because by connecting with your counterpart soul, with the only soul with whom you are absolutely incapable of connecting with based on condition, because when you do try to connect with twin flames based on condition, when you try to approach your twin flame connection from this model of conditional love, it does not work. You push one another away, you repel one another. The only way to connect fully with your twin flame is through unconditional love. So being a twin flame, being conscious and interacting with our twin flame counterpart, our counterpart soul, is the fastest way to really internalize and stabilize the frequency of unconditional love within us. And unconditional love carries a very harmonious, organized kind of frequency, which offers a stabilizing effect to the planet, to collective consciousness during a time of radical destabilization, because at this moment on the planet, and part of why so many twin flames are volunteering at this time to come in and to experience this path consciously, is because there is a great deal of destabilization, chaotic energy on the planet that requires a stabilization, a stabilizing force. So twin flames choose unconditional love, choose to really internalize and exude this frequency of unconditional love to stabilize the overall frequency vibration of the planet, and in doing so to heal collective consciousness, in a sense, to allow the collective frequency to rise. Now, going back to the 144,000, it's not that there are only 144,000 of these souls that volunteer to come in and to to learn or exemplify these certain schools of spiritual thought or ways of being, including twin flame path. It's simply that this number comes from the book of Revelation in the Bible, and it's commonly believed that this number, 144,000, is significant because when there are approximately that number of souls, of people who have shifted their frequency, shifted their consciousness in a certain way, at that point, that acts as kind of a tipping point where then that knowledge, that new knowing, that raised frequency becomes much more easily accessible to the collective consciousness. It's kind of a breaking over point where then everyone becomes kind of absorbed into that new way of thinking, swept into that higher level paradigm. So again, this is something that many different groups of souls capitalize on this kind of principle, right? We choose to volunteer in certain groups, set groups of souls, because on a soul level, we acknowledge that when a certain number of people worldwide really shifts their frequency, stabilizes themselves, shifts in a certain direction, they then allow that new knowing, that new level of consciousness to become accessible to the whole, to the collective. So I hope this video was helpful in reconnecting you with some of the knowing of your own soul about why you chose this path in this lifetime. If you are someone who is consciously awakening to your twin flame path, one last thing I did want to touch on is that when you are consciously awakening to your twin flame path, there are, in rare occasions, souls who are not connecting in the physical with their twin flame counterpart. One of these is a beautiful soul named Cassidy Kane. Many of you may be familiar with her work because she is a twin flame who actually connects to her divine masculine counterpart in spirit. So he is not physically incarnated here, but she is still consciously interacting with and having this twin flame path and experience. And this is also something that can happen from time to time. So the key here is every soul does have a counterpart soul, but those of us who consider ourselves to be twin flames, to be on a twin flame path, are those of us who have volunteered to come to this planet at this time to consciously interact with our twin flame in some way in this lifetime in order to kind of have this crash course of learning in unconditional love, to stabilize that unconditional love frequency within ourselves, and as a result, raise the vibration of the planet. So if this video is resonating with you, it's very likely you are part of our soul group, our soul family here. So I do hope you take a moment to subscribe to this channel. Also, I will be leaving a link to my twin flame 7-chakra clearing subliminal meditation in the pinned comment and description box under this video. No matter where you are along this journey, this is a really powerful tool for helping you in this process we've been discussing in this video, stabilizing that frequency of unconditional love within yourself and naturally exuding it outwards. And specifically, this subliminal works by reaching into the depths of your subconscious mind, your energy field, and uprooting any limiting thoughts that present themselves as negative vibrations, or what we sometimes call energetic blockages between yourself and your twin, which is really just anything disconnecting you from the truth of unconditional love. So meditating with this subliminal on a regular basis will really assist you in remagnetizing your energy for unconditionally loving frequency, therefore bringing you closer with your twin in the physical as well. So again, more information on that is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in the next video.